Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Thanksgiving is just in a couple of days, so today I thought I'd do a video on a realistic approach to Thanksgiving. Now I've talked about holidays and cheat days and all those things in the past, but I'm just going to briefly summarize. Some of you may have not seen those videos, some of them are old, so I'm just going to summarize some ideas for Thanksgiving. Now, first thing I'm going to say is I don't really care what your goals are, if you're bulking, you're cutting, you're trying to lose fat, whatever. Let's be realistic. Thanksgiving is not the day to bring your food scale and count your calories, so on and so forth. Now, if you are in a fat loss phase and you don't want Thanksgiving to ruin your fat loss phase, there are some things you can do to be reasonable. Now, before I even get into that, let's talk about how much damage are you really going to do in one day? Who knows? Can you eat 7,000 calories on Thanksgiving? Some people probably. I probably could. I won't, but I probably could. So that's 2 pounds of fat. So if you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week, that's 1 to 2 weeks you've set yourself back. But that's if you eat 7,000 over your maintenance, not including your maintenance. If your maintenance is 2,500 or 3,000, you have to take that away from the 7,000. So you're realistically not going to ruin your diet with your one Thanksgiving meal. But for those of you who are just hyper concerned about this, or one bad day just leads you down a bad path, here are some tips. Make Thanksgiving meal the only meal you have that day. People who do intermittent fasting, this is simple, or who have done it. I still do it when I'm in dieting phases. I don't so much do it when I'm bulking, but it's very easy for me to wait to eat and eat one meal and be done with it. So that is one tactic for Thanksgiving. Another is to focus on protein. Eat more protein than anything else you eat. It will fill you up quicker at dinner. If you have, twice as much turkey as you do mashed potatoes and, whatever else, gravy, it's going to help fill you up. Don't go insane on desserts. Desserts are probably the highest calorie to lowest satiation ratio of something you're going to have on Thanksgiving. It's very easy to eat 2 or 3 pieces of pie with ice cream, and those calories will rack up quickly. I'm not saying skip dessert, by no means skip dessert, just don't go crazy. Make yourself full enough on dinner that you don't need a massive dessert. And finally, and this is the most important point, you can disregard everything else, eat whatever you want, however you want, and if you follow this next point, you will be okay. And this applies to the entire holiday season, not just Thanksgiving. It ends that day. That's it. When Thanksgiving is over, it's done. You go right back to doing what you normally do. If you have tons and tons of leftovers, be ready to weigh and track tons and tons of leftovers, which is fine. You can eat Thanksgiving food all week if you want, but after Thursday, you become accountable again and you go right back to what you're doing. This is the most important thing. The holiday season only wrecks people's diets if they let it. Between now and Christmas, New Year's, you're going to be bombarded with cookies at work and people bringing you junk food and family meals and so on and so forth. You have to just ignore all that. You can have it, but allow for it. I know between now and Christmas at work, there's going to be more junk food than there usually is. So what do? I leave 200, 300, 400 calories open for when I go to work so I can partake in some of the junk food. If your fat loss diet won't allow for you to leave that many calories open, then you just have to say no. So those are your choices really, but have the big meal on the big important day, but once it's over, get right back to what you're doing. This, again, is the most important tip for you guys. If you disregard everything else, and I do disregard everything else. I pay no attention to what I eat on Thanksgiving. I don't use any special tactics. I do try and prioritize heavy workouts around Thanksgiving, maybe one that day if that's feasible for you and you have a gym to go to. If not, one the day before and one the day after. Definitely hit some of your big lifts. It actually winded up being max out week for me, so that is perfect. But that's just simple tips, but the big thing, if you follow nothing else, do what you want for that day and get right back on board. Do not let one day derail you. This is the real problem with holiday weight gain. It's not the actual holiday, it's everything surrounding it. So that's all I have to say about that. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join us at Facebook at facebook.com/feedingfitness, and I'll see you guys next time.